Thank you. The first frame. Stephen Maguire to break.
It's world champion Kyren Wilson against former UK champion Stephen Maguire over the best of 7 frames. A place in the round of 16 up for grabs. And Neil.
Yes, good afternoon, Philip. What a start from Kyren Wilson. That tremendous long red. Yes, you can't ignore it. I thought that Maguire was poor in that match, and it was against how he'd been playing. So that does make you think that perhaps it's going to be... Whether that helps or not. It helped Dean Young yesterday in his win against Panjin Su. He's from Edinburgh, played well. But the problem he's got is the man he's playing, I think, Kyren Wilson. That's his biggest concern. He's very confident.
Performances of his career, he just could not get anything going. But Wilson continuing that day
13.
as he has been ever since he lifted the world champion this season. He's won 2 big titles, beaten Judd Trump in the final of the Northern Ireland Open handsomely. Of course, Trump got his revenge at the UK. He's worn the crown of world champion very lightly, clearly very hungry for more success. He's certainly not one to rest on his laurels.
I mean, we saw a match earlier this week.
Hence the rueful smile. This is the shot that he attempted to split the bunch with, but didn't go to plan. Of his home tournament, 2017, and again 3 years ago. He's been working with former professional Kranis back-to-back to win the LG Cup in the early noughties, but now coaching Maguire. They've only been working together for about a month, and Maguire has said sure that his technique is exactly as it should be. So he's clearly still very motivated, and we know how good he can be when he's playing well. He keyed up for both of those matches.
It's a nice shot, that. Yes, he played poorly the last time these two players met, but Stephen Maguire on a going day is a real handful still. I think every player on the tour knows that.
UK Championship, and he was basically unplayable in that tournament. Demolished David Gray in the final, having beaten O'Sullivan. Things will change for him for the better.
.21.
Would be a significant frame to steal, wouldn't it, given he might have felt that Wilson was going to take these himself. But it will only mean anything if Maguire goes on to take the opening frame here. Not long after that he did.
.29.
Not landing on one, he mishit his safety, and Maguire has so far taken full advantage of that. And he's playing with a real purpose.
The blue. If so, you feel that he will be taking high value colours anyway, because it's almost more difficult to play on a lower value colour. Get on by any means from the brown anyway. But nice to think the frame was won at that point.
Didn't hit it, really.
Well, if you're playing on the last red, down to the black, you need an angle on the black. This is superb for Maguire. What a good start. Now got to just finish the job and get this frame won. Yellow green.
61. $64.
Frame with some very good play from both players in it. Terrific start this.
68.
Kyren Wilson looks set to land a big early blow before the miscue, having run out of position. And what a response from Stephen Maguire this is, as he looks to exercise the ghosts of that
73.
forgettable day at the York Barbican. This is exactly the tonic required at the start of this match.
$79. Stephen Maguire, 79.
A beautiful break of 79. What a counter-attack from Stephen Maguire after Kyren Wilson's early salvo of 46, and it's Maguire who leads by a frame to nil. What a terrific opening frame. Kyren Wilson looked well on his way to winning it with something big, but lost position on 46, then seemed to miscue, and Stephen Maguire stepped in with a superb 79 break to the pink to lead 1-0. This is their 10th meeting. Maguire has beaten Wilson on 3 occasions, most recently the Northern Ireland Open, which of course Wilson won.
Once again, we see the red drifting up the table from the break-off. Similar sort of shot from the other side of the table, actually. A little grimace there.
Like Maguire, Wilson is twice finalist on a couple of occasions. Not that he'd want to recall either of them for very long.
$9.
Oh dear.
Can he get through? Can he get to a colour? I suppose the black, but he didn't want to be playing the black, but he can't possibly get to any other colour. I'm assuming this will be called a miss, but I tell you,
Kyren Wilson, 1.
I don't think this is the easiest league control of it, but even then, you tend to feel aggrieved when something like that happens.
1.
Bit of a chastening opening frame for Kyren Wilson. He'll be keen to hit straight back, not least because he's seen Maguire playing well.
Well, it all adds up to a pretty interesting matchup, doesn't it, these two?
Up against Jackson Page, 1-4-2. Chris Wakelin likewise over Zhang Anda.
11. Cheers. 17. T3. 24.
Goodness me, that is a major surprise.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. What a miss. That really was. Not being able to stop Stephen Maguire getting in. That was a bad miss for sure.
Nine.
Here, he like to be a little wider or even straight completely. It's a good shot. Force it round. If anything too far, he's gone.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, very close to seeing that red drop, but for the third time in this frame.
The red that he missed, you knew there was a little bit on it.
1. Eight.
Well, you couldn't make it up, could you?
8.
2 missed pinks into the same left corner pocket.
Played on that right-hand red at best, but it will definitely go, but not into a full pocket, so you can hit the pink on the way through if you're not careful. He had more room than that, you know. He didn't get as close to the pink he might have.
Thank you. 1.
No.
It clearly went.
Looking now to kill this off, 25 in front, still 51 there.
8.
In fact, any colour would do, but wants to make sure of the frame.
Don't know if you can cut it in, but the double to middle, the obvious shot really. But even that
Kyren Wilson, 15.
eluded him, and as far as doubles go, that's probably the. Well, this frame is absolutely anybody's. Yes, there's hints, so this one brings about a different challenge, I think, because of what's gone before. Brilliant.
1.
Still got it, but there's one more pot to make.
Bit of pressure on it, given the state of the table. Oh, he's just about wriggled it in off the far jaw, so 2 elementary pinks.
Kyren Wilson, 8.
Every time Maguire has made a mistake in this frame, though, he's left Wilson in, and
well, that's a snooker. Be enabling Maguire to win. Could be another snooker here, though.
well, this is
Medium speed, and that would take him into free ball territory. Good shot. Hit this one with more pace, just push the red away from there.
missed a couple of pinks that he wouldn't normally in a season, but it didn't cost him.
Kyren Wilson, 1 and a frame.
Stephen Maguire remains in his chair, and so the world champion levels up proceedings here on table 1 on this 3rd afternoon in Edinburgh. It's 1 apiece. Well, 2-0 up on Show You Long. And what a tournament Dean Young is having at the moment. Now 2-0 up on Shatus is in jeopardy, but he's found something in front of his home crowd so far this week.
Play it, and you can just see a little edge of it. And that, of course, if you missed altogether, that would be in aid of the replacement. But he hasn't missed it. Good shot. Fine safety shot, that one.
Fair to say that did not go according to plan for Maguire, and has left this.
1.
Yeah, I mean, when you get the double kiss on that shot, you lose all control of...
Six. 7. Kyren Wilson, 14.
It is ever so thin. How much of the red is sticking out is the question. We're still not sure, and that's going to take the world of replacing. That is. It's good. This is very unpleasant business, this, for any referee.
Was he on the spot? Oh, sorry.
It's a horrible replacement. I mean,
Yeah, sorry.
You're trying to hit this.
Colin is entirely impartial. He might be hoping that Maguire hits it second time round for everyone's sake.
You know, it is a difficult one, and of course, there's no way in the world Maguire would be looking for any advantage here. Well, the other factor to take into account is you could see a red full ball, so I think it doesn't matter whether they get...
Well, he's done pretty well there. That shot was hazardous, but Maguire's played it well. It's amazing how often well-executed safety from Maguire, acknowledged by Wilson. Show You Long made a 115 break, by the way, to half the deficit with Brissell. Table 2.
Yeah, he got lucky this time. That's what the hand went up for, because he hit a red on the way back. It was an error in safety.
And there's another one. The secondary cannon taking the red into the pocket.
He's playing it. He's right behind it, in fact. When I first saw it, I thought he was a little more square onto the yellow, but he had to go for that one.
Viewed that nicely.
Full.
A lucrative week's work for Maguire, that was. He beat Neil Robertson and made 6 centuries. Judd Trump and Mark Allen to win it, and walked away with over.
Foul. 8, Steve Maguire, 4.
He's queuing pretty well. Wilson caught that way too thick. It's been a bit of a mixed bag so far. Is he lining up a plant here? It looks ambitious. But he got it. Wasn't safe after all.
No, it's one of those 3-ball plants where either they're in line or there was value in it, because he's always landing on the cushion next to the green or down by the green. Yeah, that was a more difficult plant than the 3-ball plant. It would have deserved the fluke. Good plant.
1. Eight. $30. 14. 21. 27.
Wilson looking to win back to the home nations after his brilliant performance in Belfast.
28.
To win the Alex Higgins Trophy, you'd love. You'll fancy his chances. Going for his 3rd ranking title of the season, and that's some performance. Time champions have struggled to deal with all of the hoopla that inevitably goes with the territory when you do win the big one.
35.
In the case of Wilson, it just seems to have level.
Yes, he's going to be in front, isn't he? Now that that red's gone in. Started very. Mistakes have followed from both players. It's a question of who can cope with them better. It might be that it's this man. It's only one snooker.
40.
He's probably got to carry on, which I think that Maguire would probably like. Yeah, he's going to take a good shot to get onto another red, but I think I could hardly think of how he could have played that shot better. That's if you can get one on the last red, or 2 it'll be.
7.
The strange thing is the balls are in good positions for getting in behind the brown would be quite a nice shot.
Stephen Maguire, 12.
This match.
Foul, Stephen Maguire, 4.
Plenty of balls to hide behind. This would be an even more impressive steal than the opening frame. It looked as though that highly ambitious second plant that he attempted in this frame was going to cost him. The fact that Maguire didn't snooker Wilson just now, the world champion, to take the initiative in this exchange for now at least. And that
Frame conceded, frame Kyren Wilson.
is that. So, Kyren Wilson back. Actually getting in with the break of 40 after Steve Maguire had attempted a second plant and missed by a margin. Maguire was able to get one of the snookers he needed, but conceded when he left a red over the left corner for his opponents. Played a lot better today, but this frame feels big for him.
Well, he'd be very annoyed with that. He's, you know, you are going to leave balls over the pockets on these fast tables.
1.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. So Maguire
Kyren Wilson,
dodges a bullet, having left superb counter-attacking break in the first.
Nice pot, but he didn't want the kiss at all on the red. Although I don't think he'll go across the brown spot anyway. That's the problem, isn't it? The left-hand side, you need to pot the ball. You put in the first red. Good shot, really good. Spot anyway, so the red in front of the black's the one he's playing.
18.
Play it, but it's just going in towards the pink, the angle. It's on this one along the cushion. Just searching for prime position here, when of course he's a
26.
perfectionist, Maguire. Again, just getting through rather fortunately to that red.
32.
Now perhaps.
$37. 38. 46. 54.
Yes, that's okay. If you might up the table. I don't think it would be take a lot for him to. I've said he's had enough in this frame. He already does. Needs a couple. Wow. That was magnificent.
Yeah, it's a couple of snookers to win the frame. A long way back, but you never know.
Top. 9.
And then the attempt to get the snookers. But he'll want a high value colour once again here. I think with the black, if he can get down for the black. He's missed it, oh dear. But he'll.
One. Kyren Wilson, 8.
Well, it is a snooker, but a little swerve, which he's negotiated very well. Got to finish it off here, though, either by playing the snooker or the pot in the red, maybe a bit of both. He's inviting Kyren Wilson to pot this red, which, if he does,
One.
Because the free ball option will only bring about 2. Whereas on the last red, you can get as many as 8 points from a free ball. which would be the free ball red and the black. 35 in.
Kyren Wilson, 8.
Wilson battle a best of 3 from here for a place in the last 16. It was so one-sided when they played in York. Wilson himself struggled actually, but still won 6-0. That's a measure of how bad, but he's clearly in a different place this afternoon. Maguire to maybe clip this yellow in and end the argument. Which he's done. And it was a really good break of 67 from Maguire
2.
to get himself back in this match. Which at the moment, in terms of the scoreline and indeed the balance of play, is too close to call. Good to see Maguire playing well again.
It's an interesting match, isn't it? It's been a good match, eventful. Some great shots, 1 or 2 surprising mistakes. But
Steve Maguire, 5 and a frame.
they are best of 3.
All to play for then here in Edinburgh. We're all square at 2 frames all. Brissell looking to finish the match against Zhou Yulong, but they're playing a re-spotted black here. Zhou looking to keep his hopes alive to close to 3-2. Knocked in the last couple of colours just now to force this extra black. Semi-finalist last season, of course, a very from 4-1 up to Mark Allen at the Northern Ireland Open. Certainly on that list of the best player yet to win a ranking title, very high on it as well. And for Brissell, well, it's about getting his mojo back and in the process getting himself. That applause is for a tremendous opening red from Steve Maguire. Of course, we'll be straight back to table 1 long. And in it goes. So Luca Brissell puts together back-to-back victories. He's through to the last 16. Luca Brissell will now play Ding Junhui, who came through earlier against Jackson Page 4-2. Ding, who's had a pretty modest record in home nations down the years. That's a good red. Very positive start to this frame for Maguire. In fact, his best shot.
Which is usually immaculate. It's a few very fine pots. Getting stuck in, isn't he, Maguire? It's good to see. Well, that's a very intricate. Very well done, Matt. Played a couple of good shots.
How about this for a bit of queuing? Fantastic pot from Maguire.
28.
After the 67 break in frame.
I'm sure didn't think he'd be still sitting there all this time later. So he's finding some of his very best form and his...
As he showed at the World Championship, came through qualifying and then bagged 2 major scalps in his old adversary Sean Murphy, Ali Carter. Lost.
35. $42.
Well, I mean, this is
48.
outstanding stuff. Now he really has got it under control at long last. Break so far.
$56.
And the black is... And it should go, of course, on this occasion. As
$64.
From Maguire, top class.
yeah, he's actually just gone too far now, and this is the last. An opponent trying to get snookers, which has been the case in a lot of this match. It's going to be again, I think.
Steve Maguire, 71.
So it's a snooker required, but we've been here before in this match. Most
1.
This makes all the difference to a player, doesn't it? Just to pop, and then there's never really any thought of them getting out of their chair and trying to get them.
9.
I mean, it's not impossible here. The other red on the left has got to be negotiated as well. So it'll be interesting to see which way he goes about this.
$17.
Very interesting shot selection there. He's left himself the double because he could have easily played the four. This double goes in and gets on the black, then he has got a serious chance in this frame. No, I'm not sure every
24.
player in the game would have gone that way. There's snooker that he could lay on the last red. But the frame is over this time.
Yeah, the battle for snookers has proved fruitless in each of the frames where... And he deserves to be in front in this match.
8.
And he deserves to be in front in this match.
8.
Yes, he came to the table wondering if he was on a red there. because Maguire just slightly overhit, not much. That one cushion escape, but he's not on the red to middle. So safety shot. So a safety shot, but he's got to be careful here, Kyren, because he's now within a frame of losing. These safety shots with the red spread have got to be played precisely. And that is a very good shot. Because he could have left one there. Instead, playing cushion first, I think, onto the red further down to the right. Oh, he did well to avoid the double kiss. That would have been the worst outcome. The match could be winnable at this visit. Ah, great shot. Great shot.
One.
And I guess with Mark Allen in a similar boat, working with Lee Walker very recently, you've sometimes got to
6.
take a couple of steps back before you can move forward with any changes. The lead, at least.
Yes, he's hitting them very firmly. Same. Here the ball's thud into the back of the pocket. Not overhit, but just with a real authority.
For what would be a very satisfying win against the world champion, particularly after what happened in the UK.
$24.
I'm not sure how Kyren would view this if he lost, and I feel that he might be on the brink of that. The UK Championships, it was completely one-sided.
27.
And just a couple of weeks later, he might be on the wrong end against the same opponent. Comfortably to that left corner in case he ends up that those two reds are in the way. Even if he plays the right hand not being on the black.
$33.
He looked confident in the early frames, but I think from 2 each, he's played outstanding snooker, Maguire.
Was at the highest class, and he's been at it again here.
47.
Semi-finals on his CV. The upbeat tone about his pre-match interview with Alan McManus, which was in complete contrast,
55.
of course, to a couple of weeks is a long time in snooker, evidently. Kyren looking a little resigned. There's still a bit to do, but it's out that the players have been playing on for snookers, so he'll want to kill this off now.
62.
Yes, I mean, we're complete neutrals, but it is nice to see him playing well again. Did most of all that today. He's played well. Whether it's because he's close to home.
Even enter this tournament last season, he told Alan that was because he couldn't deal with the pressure of it. He certainly dealt with the pressure today. And just 51 left. Kyren Wilson hasn't played poorly. In fact, he started the match, but Stephen Maguire has been outstanding.
'86. '94.
And it would be fitting. It would be just his 6th of this season. The 526th of his career. What a performance this is
101.
from the home favourite.
103.
Yeah, he's basically won the last 2 frames in a single visit. The last frame was not with a century, and it was with a terrific long pot, which left Kyren Wilson needing a snooker. So basically, he'd got the job done in one scoring visit, which is always pleasing for a player. I said earlier, he's a bit of a perfectionist.
110.
And while he can play better than this, he's played as well as I've seen him for a while.
115.
Nice performance, this. All the aggression and the fire appears to be still there.
121.
Finishing with a flourish. A 1-2-8 clearance from Stephen Maguire. What a turnaround from the UK Championship. He avenges his loss to Kyren Wilson in fine style. A timely reminder of just how good he can be. He's on fire today, all right. And he's through to the round of 16 here in his home tournament, the Scottish Open in Edinburgh.